What could be the main reasons for a nation to remain underdeveloped or in the developing stage? The answer is not easy. There are several factors behind the underdevelopment state of a nation. Geographers measure development using economic and human indicators. Let's learn about them. The gross domestic product, or GDP, is the main economic indicator used to determine a country's rate of development. The GDP measures the value of goods and services produced by a country. The rate at which the GDP increases each year is the measure of economic growth. It helps to determine when or if a country will reach the next stage of development. The graph shows the GDP growth of Pakistan from 1980 to 2013. The gross national product, or GNP, is the total value of GDP and the earnings of overseas employees or overseas investments. It can also help determine a country's progress. The graph shows the GNP growth of Pakistan from 2004 to 2016. This is the gap between a country's richest and poorest people. A country is not considered to be developed if only a small percentage of its population has a high quality of life, while the majority is living in poverty. Inflation is the rate of increase in the prices of goods and services and the decrease in the value of the currency. If a country has an inflation rate of 10% per year, it means that people will be purchasing the same goods or services for a price that is 10% higher than the previous year. Pakistan's inflation rate is about 4% per year. The unemployment rate is the number of people not earning an income due to the unavailability of work. A high unemployment rate indicates that a large number of people cannot access the basic goods and services required for a good quality of life. Developed countries tend to have more service industries, while the least developed nations are more reliant on agriculture. In the United States, agriculture accounts for only 1.6%. Service industries 77.6%, and manufacturing, mining, construction, and energy production account for about 33.7% of its GDP. On the other hand, in Ethiopia, a developing country in Africa, agriculture accounts for almost half of its GDP, service industries 43%, and manufacturing, mining, construction, and energy production account for 15.6% of its GDP. An important way to calculate development is by using the Human Development Index, or HDI, which was created by the United Nations in 1990. Human development indicators reflect the social conditions of the people of a country. Each year, three things are measured: life expectancy at birth, education, and per capita income. Healthcare can be checked by the access of the population to medical care, the quality and the cost of available healthcare, and the rate of spread of diseases. Education is measured keeping in view the population's access to education, the level of available education, number of students undertaking each level of education, whether education is free or not, and the literacy rate. Life expectancy is the average age to which a person lives. Developed countries have higher life expectancy, often because they have better quality of life and access to better health care. Infant mortality rate is measured by the number of babies who die under the age of 1. Monaco has the lowest rate, less than 2 per 1,000 live births. Afghanistan has highest infant mortality rate, with 115 per 1,000 live births. Poverty rate measures the percentage of the population living on an income considered to be less than that required for basic survival. The cut-off value of income per day, which divides the poor from the non-poor, is called the poverty line. The World Bank has set a poverty line of 1.9 US dollars per day, which indicates that people earning below this amount are considered to be living in severe poverty. Access to basic facilities measures the population's access to clean drinking water, sewerage, and other sanitary conditions that are essential to healthy living. People living in developing countries do not have easy or cheap access to clean drinking water, and the governments of these countries do not have adequate resources to provide basic facilities for their people. Technology is measured by the percentage of people with access to telephones, television, the internet, and other telecommunication tools. Where a government spends its money provides a strong indicator, as do its priorities. For example, a government that spends a higher percentage of its money on improving health and education services and encouraging business growth would be considered more serious about improving their country's rate of development than a government that spends a higher percentage of funds on defense and security services.